I'm the legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show, and I'm in the starting lineup.
I'm Terry Quillian, and I'll be in the starting lineup every Saturday morning.
I'm Keefer, and I'm part of the starting lineup.
The starting lineup, 10:30 to 11 on ABC 3340 every Saturday morning. Yes, welcome back to another starting lineup. He is Kip Keefer. I am Tony Kurre. We're on every single Saturday morning from 10:30 to 11 o'clock right here on ABC 3340. And we like to have some special guests. You know, one week we may have a Cayman crocodile sitting on your lap. We may have a State Farm insurance guy. And this week I am happy to bring on, I got to tell you something now. I just saw him on the monitor, and I still get butterflies, man.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, this guy's been on my radio station, TKR, Tony Kurre Radio, for a long time. We still play a bunch of his encore presentations. The Damon Johnson Show, of course, you know him from Brother Kane. They had 3 number ones, 5 top 10s. He played with Alice Cooper, played with Thin Lizzy, played with John Waite. Then all of a sudden he's asked by Lynyrd Skynyrd if he would mind filling in for Gary Rosington on occasion. He does that, and next thing you know, unfortunately, Gary leaves this rock and roll earth of ours. He's up there playing in heaven, and there's Damon holding his axe, and
awesome.
He is now the lead guitarist for Lynyrd Skynyrd. He joins us here in the starting lineup. Damon, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Fellas, wow. Congratulations on everything you've got happening, man. This sounds exciting.
Well, this will not be the last time you're on this show, brother.
Damon, you're in the starting lineup today. I know that's a real career highlight for you.
It is. The sharp-dressed Simple Man Tour. It's going to be kicking back up a notch here on Friday, March 8th, which is, by the way, the day after my birthday. I may have to come see that in Savannah, Georgia. Talk about your next leg of this big tour you got going on with ZZ Top.
Yes, this tour was ZZ Top. I guess last year, guys, we did about 40 shows together, and then 20 additional shows on our own. But man, there's just something all American about the idea of Lynyrd Skynyrd and ZZ Top, on the same stage on the same night, and it was just so fun for us. It's fun for the fans, and so yeah, man, we're hitting it really hard March and April. And then the two bands kind of venture off and do some of our own things through the middle of the summer, and then we come back together. I think it's August and September.
You certainly want to get into the Brother Kane situation too. You got the 30th anniversary of that band, and I just mentioned some of the accolades and some of the wonderful things that happened with Brother Kane. And I know that it's funny because you actually were doing shows with me on TKR, and we'd throw that question out. Does Brother Kane ever think about getting back together again? And you're sitting there on the road with Lynyrd Skynyrd. You got Brother Kane fans coming out of the woodwork saying, dude, get the band back together again, right? And it happens.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I think Skynyrd fans are worried I'm not going to have enough work to do, so they're like, we want you to be in 2 bands at once. And I said, okay. So yeah, man, really proud to have Brother Kane relaunched. Super excited about 2 brand new songs that we released back in November. We did about 22 dates toward the end of the year, and we're firing up again. As we speak, guys. There's going to be a run of shows in Texas in May that I'm really excited about. We had so much support there back in the day. So without a doubt, it's going to be a busy year, man. I'm going to be playing that Les Paul quite a bit in 2024.
That sounds so exciting, Damon. I'm thrilled that you're front and center now in such high-profile situations. Much deserved. I've got a little personal history to relate. At the ripe old age of 15, one of the great weeks in my life growing up in Atlanta, on July the 3rd, the day before the 4th of July, I went to the Omni and was able to see a kind of a nice doubleheader, I guess. The opening act was Fleetwood Mac and the headliner was the Eagles. That was pretty significant. But that was even top. 4 days later, I saw the original Lynyrd Skynyrd at the Fox Theater, and it was one of the most extraordinary shows I've ever been privileged to see all these years later. So the fact that you're occupying that sacred ground on your guitar for the modern day version of Lynyrd Skynyrd is just thrilling for me.
Well, it's a great story, Kip. I certainly wish that I could have seen the original band. I remember waking up that morning in October of 1977 when the plane crashed.
Never forget it.
I was in the 8th grade, so I was essentially in junior high school. But I had already started playing guitar I was trying my best to figure out some of those songs. So it's just crazy that, 25 years later, Brother Kane would go out and support Skynyrd in 93 and 94. We did a ton of shows with them. And that's how I really got to know the guys, especially Gary and Johnny. And then Ricky Medlock has always been like a big brother to me. So Ricky called me 3 years ago when Gary had what was his second heart attack. And guys, I've said it often, and I'm going to say it, however long this band continues. The circumstances surrounding me being in Lynyrd Skynyrd are not ideal. We wish Gary was still here leading his band and doing what he loves. But such an honor of my whole career to have Gary kind of handpick me and say, "Oh yeah, I know Damon. Let's let Damon step in and play those parts." It's incredible.
Damon Johnson, of course, the lead guitarist for Lynyrd Skynyrd. He joins us on the show. The starting lineup with Keefer and Kurre, ABC 3340, 10:30, 11 o'clock every Saturday morning. You never know who we're going to have on this show.
Nope.
They're going to be kicking off their tour, their next leg in Savannah, Georgia, coming up on March 8th. It's crazy, Damon, because when we went through COVID just about 3 years ago, and I hate to even say that word, I thought it was going to be the end of classic rock as we know it, because we had all these bands that were either starting tours or wanted to go on tour, and all of a sudden we're going to be held back for we didn't know how long, a year, 2 years. Now all of a sudden you got the Stones playing Jazz Fest. You got AC/DC announcing this past week that they're going on a worldwide tour. You got Kiss, who just wrapped it up. You got Elton John on the road. You got Paul McCartney. In our day, you wouldn't get maybe one or two of those every 3 or 4 years. Now it seems like everybody is on the road. Was that a product of COVID? And I mean, I think a lot of us missed the live show so much we're willing to do anything to see it again.
Well, I think that's really a product of the strength of those songs, Tony, that all of those acts have. You and I have talked about it many times before, my friend. We are so fortunate that we grew up in the era that we did, because my kids, my grandkids, they're not going to have Led Zeppelin and Skynyrd and Fleetwood Mac and Deep Purple and AC/DC and Van Halen. They're just not going to have anything remotely like that. The business has changed. Music, if you think about it, man, rock and roll is still so new. Even when Skynyrd put their first record out in 1973. So I think all this touring activity by all these amazing acts is a testament to the songs and the fact that the fans, it's the soundtrack of their lives, man. So people want to come and hear that music, by some formation of people that are associated with those bands or were in the original band. So, man, it's an incredible time right now, no doubt.
Damon, I think it's awesome, too, that so many guys that are now in their 70s, most of the acts I see are still really on top of their game. I'm a huge Jackson Browne guy. I saw Jackson Browne here in Birmingham. I saw him in Fort Lauderdale about a month later. And then I saw him in Vegas. He did a brief resident at the Venetian. Jackson's 75, and I'm telling you, in a lot of ways, he sounds better than he did when he was in his 40s. It's incredible.
No, it is incredible, Kip. It's completely unheard of. It's almost unbelievable.
What else can you do at that age? It's amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember when I started playing guitar for Alice Cooper in 2004. Man, I thought he was old then, that was 20 years ago, and look at him, man. He's 70. I think he's 75.
Yeah, all these guys are timeless.
No slowing down. My family and I, we went to see him last year here at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. He's never sounded better. The show was incredible. I just talked to Scott Gorham from Thin Lizzy. Scott Gorham's about to turn 74.
Wow. He's
rocking it. Ricky Medlock, he's about to have his 74th birthday. He's rocking it. So, man, these guys are an inspiration. And honestly, for a guy like me, those are role models.
Yeah, you're just a pup. Damon,
Yeah.
You are a pup for sure. Well, go check out the pup playing his Les Paul, the Sharp Dress Simple Man Tour, kicking back up a notch on March 8th in Savannah, Georgia. You go all the way through September, and you're playing just about every state in the union, man. So thank you so much for your time I love you like a brother from a different mother, man. Thank you so much for taking some time out in your busy schedule, coming seeing the starting lineup with Kip Keefer and Tony Kurre. Thank you, Damon.
Guys, congrats. Love you. See you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Talk to you a
Damon.
little bit. There he is, Damon Johnson.
That was just great.
He is. I got an opportunity to do a show with him every single week for about 20 weeks that they still run on TKR and Tony Kurre Radio, and of course you can podcast those through Spotify. And I would thematically say, give me your best 6 guitar solos or one of the best shows. This first 6 songs he ever played in his garage. And I mean, some of it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was playing Carole King. I mean, it was fantastic. So if you get a chance to go back and listen to some of those great shows on TKR, do that. And again, we're going to have him on. Taylor Hicks is, we're working to get him on the next couple of weeks. I'm going to reach out to all of our rock and rollers. I've got a phone call out to Pat Benatar, who perhaps we'll have on here the next couple of weeks. So a lot of good things going on here in the starting lineup right here with Kip Keefer and Tony Kurre on ABC 3340.
You never know who's going to be in the starting lineup.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino turns dreams into reality. Like Roger M., who just won over $51,000. And Rebecca, celebrating a life-changing jackpot of $160,000. You could be the next to dance the Icky Shuffle with a big win.
Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Don't miss your chance to be our next big winner at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Mentioned this a few minutes ago, we try to do things differently on TKR and Tony Kurre Radio. It is a radio station unlike any other, and I realize you can get classic rock anywhere. You can pull it up on Spotify, listen to any song you want, anytime you want. So we got to do things differently. That's why I have a show called Need to Know with Kip Keefer on. We have the Keefer and Kurre show on. We have Mission Minded. We have 3 Men in a Boat. We have also a show called Students of the Game.
Dark Side of the Pooch.
Dark Side of the Pooch. We got that. Damon Johnson was just on. We got the Damon Johnson show on, man. He is incredible every single week. And we did those before he actually got with Lynyrd Skynyrd and just as he crossed over. So we saw all that happening. We got a great blues show with Austin Hanks. Just fantastic programming. Download that TKR app. And of course, wherever you get all your favorite podcasts, we're available 24/7. Also on our own YouTube channel, just like the starting lineup is every single week here on ABC 3340. So download the TKR app and get after it. Oh, and now it's time. Speaking of getting after it, now it's time.
Yeah.
Now it is time to get after it.
Perfect segue.
I got excited. He's right behind me. The legend, the man, the myth, the legend. You like him, love him, can't live without him. He's the dean of the music scene, pumping Wazoo Cottage. He is the legend. Here he is.
Oh, welcome to the Legend Cave. I'm the legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show. And here at the Legend Cave, few men have ever stepped in this Legend Cave. I'm talking about Elvis. I'm talking about Ronnie Van Zant, Kip Keefer, Tony Kurre, the great Monty Bauer. You got to be great to step into the Legend Cave. I know you're thinking this morning, why, legend, are you got an Auburn helmet in your hand? Because on Saturday morning, I have a ritual. I get up and I slap it. I slap it. I slap it. I slap it. And I throw it over there on my way. That's the way I start my Saturday mornings. You might think I'm crazy, but it brings joy to my heart. It brings joy to my heart. Now, this Saturday is always question and answer Saturday, so got a few questions. The first one's from my bro, David Legend. Love you, bro. The great man, Monty Bauer from HBO. He's a great man, plays on Ballers with The Rock there. But David Legend wants to know, how far can this Alabama basketball team go? Well, David Legend, me and you have suffered many a years. No fan base has suffered more than the Alabama basketball team. I've been an Oriole fan, I've been a Colt fan, I've been a Celtic fan all my life. Many joys, but the Alabama basketball team, no joy, ever. Do you still remember Mark Godfrey and Jim Farmer dribbling the ball off their foot against Kentucky in the Sweet 16? I can't get it out of my mind. How far can this team go? I don't know, but I think we got a chance with Nate Oates to have a real opportunity to see a Final Four in the future. Next year, 3 5-star players on the way, including Darian Reed, one of the best shooting guards in the country. Nate Oates is building a dynasty down there at Bama. He's won 4 of the last 6 trophies in the SEC, and maybe, just maybe, with a little defense, we could see a Final Four, at least an Elite 8 this year. I think that's our ceiling. Now let's get ready for the next question. It's a football question. Legend, what did you think of the Super Bowl? Well, I liked it. I thought it was a great Super Bowl. But one thing irritated me. When Travis Kelce bumped into Andy Reid, what is that all about? If somebody bumped into Nick Saban, I don't care if it's Melrose, I don't care if it's Will Anderson Jr., you get your bags and get out of town. That entitlement, I don't like it. Now listen to his girlfriend, she got some decent songs, I had to give her. But Dad, when you run into the coach, I just don't like it. I don't like it. But the Super Bowl itself was pretty good. Last question. Legend, have you ever met I-Man or Jim from the Feinbaum Show? Yes, I have. Let me describe Jim to you. He's about this tall. One shoulder kind of comes down like this as he walks. This is the way he walks. He got like 2 teeth in the front. He's got a blue eye and he's got a brown eye. He can best be described as a buzzard with one bad foot and a bad hairdo. That's the best way to describe Jim from Tuscaloosa. Now, I met Iron Man one time, but I couldn't get close to him because he stunk so bad I had to stay 20 feet away from him. You know the kind of people I'm talking about. He stunk so bad. He looked like Willie Nelson, 20 years older than what Willie is right now, and just climbed out of a ditch and hadn't had a bath in 2 weeks. Now, these describe the 2 individuals that I met. You wanted to know. I told you the way it is. That's the way it is. Last question comes from Ruthie. Big Ruthie, I love you, Big Ruthie. Big Ruthie wants to know, will Nick Saban be a great analyst? Nick Saban's like the legend. He's great at everything. Remember, it's just a game. Don't be like the legend. Sports, plumb insane.
We've been blessed here to do this show called The Starting Lineup. Kip Keefer and Tony Kurre, and I want to thank my brother from another different mother for allowing me to be his co-host on this wonderful show. We have a great time talking sports. Of course, we went through the entire college and professional football season. We're going to have hoops. We're going to have special guests. We're going to have rock and rollers. We're going to go through authors and books and relationship advice and everything else. It's going to be great. We couldn't do it without our great sponsors. Southern Precision Staffing is one of those wonderful ones. They're already locked up for our brand new year of 2024. Southern Precision Staffing, Kai Greger and his staff. They're looking for you if you have a banged up staff. We had them on as part of our injury report. So if you have a banged up staff and you need them replaced, they do it. It's Southern Precision Staffing, 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828. They're right here in Hoover, Alabama, like TKR is, and the Starting Lineup in ABC 3340. But they serve the United States of America, where your word and your handshake still means something.
We have the Case Keefer report coming up from Las Vegas. Tony Case just came off a pretty active week out there in Vegas for the Super Bowl. He's going to tell you all of his overview of what went on and what a great show it was. He's a little biased. He says he's been to 5 Super Bowls. This is the best one he's ever attended, right in his backyard. Vegas is a big-time venue, and Case is going to talk about that, some of the bets that he had on the Super Bowl, and look ahead to where he's going to be in the coming weeks as he kind of transitions now to Hoops March Madness coming up. So without further delay, Case Keefer, our man in the desert, with his weekly report.
Hey, it's Case Keefer coming to you from Las Vegas for my weekly Best Bet segment as part of the Starting Lineup. And after surviving the Las Vegas Super Bowl, the first Las Vegas Super Bowl, and I really think Las Vegas thrived as a host city to catch us up on some of the stuff we talked about the last couple weeks. I thought I'd give the report and say that I thought everything was phenomenal here hosting the Super Bowl. I've now been to, I think, 4 of the last 6, maybe 4 of the last 7 Super Bowls, all in different cities. And of course, I am biased, but I think Vegas was the best one. Just everything so centrally located, such a great atmosphere all week for everything that goes on around the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people save up and it's a dream to go to the Super Bowl and they pick one to go to. Well, I'm here to tell you, I think Las Vegas is the one to target. I think we're going to be in the regular mix here every 5 or 6 years. I don't have the next one yet, but 2028 and 2029 both open. So it might cost you a little bit extra, especially with the tickets. Allegiant Stadium has a little bit fewer seats than some of these other historic Super Bowl stadiums, but Yeah, I thought it was a great place for the game. Thought everything went extremely well. And to get back to the point of this show, the betting did not go so bad either. Hopefully you took my advice on some of the props I gave out on the show over the last 2 weeks. Gave out Christian McCaffrey first touchdown 2 weeks ago. That was a big score for us when he took that double pass from Jawan Jennings for a touchdown in the second quarter. And then last week, I believe I gave over 3.5 field goals at a big plus price and under 4.5 sacks. Both of those not even really a sweat, won pretty easily. As for the game, if you remember, I was on the 49ers, so a little bit disappointed not to go out on the season, on a high for the season, excuse me. But, I look back and I don't really regret any decisions I made. If we were restarting this game now, I think it would be the exact same line. I think San Francisco would close a 2.5 favorite, and I think that's fair, a 2.5 point favorite. I'm not necessarily saying I'd lay it. I certainly wouldn't be taking the plus 2.5 with Kansas City. I think they got a lot of breaks in that game. I think there were a lot of things that could have played out differently, and you would have seen the 49ers win it. Two great teams. The 49ers didn't capitalize on, too many mistakes from the Chiefs for the first 3 quarters, and you give Patrick Mahomes that much time, he's ultimately going to come back and bite you. I mean, if I can impart anything from doing these segments the last couple years, it's that I believe in the process over the outcome, and I think my process was good on landing on the 49ers there, even though they ultimately didn't get it done. I know we're all gushing over Mahomes, and by far the best player in the world right now, but the 49ers are right there. I mean, the extra point doesn't get blocked. The punt doesn't hit off the guy's leg. Maybe if they recover more than 1 out of 7 fumbles, I think the 49ers win that game. So that being said, the Chiefs look ultra tough going forward. I think they're going to take a little bit step back defensively next year. I don't expect Chris Jones to be back, but offensively, I think they're going to upgrade. They're going to get some better receivers. I've already actually bet on the Chiefs next year to win the Super Bowl. I bet some future markets. I'm not necessarily putting these out there right now at the normal prices. They're not great, but this is just a reminder to shop around. If there is something you're interested in betting, see what the prices are there. Right after the Super Bowl, I started looking around. I found some Patrick Mahomes MVP for next season at 8-1, which I think is way too high, especially with the goodwill he has. Coming into next season, back-to-back Super Bowl champion, no question everyone is so high on him. I think they'll probably have a better regular season next year, so I love that at 8-1. I still think in a major domestic sports book you can find a plus 750. A lot of people don't like locking up their money for a year, obviously, but God, I got to think he's going to get a lot lower than that by the end of the season. So 8-1, not a bad bet there. And I actually bet the Chiefs 9-1 to win the Super Bowl, just knowing it would go down. That's another thing. Just shop, look for some prices that are off. 9-1, that was too high, and now it's kind of gone down. I see mostly plus 650, 5-1 now. I wouldn't bet those, but just an idea of some of the bargains you can find if you're always on your toes and looking around. The question I get so much now from a betting perspective is people ask me, what's next? What are you going to do now? Well, if you follow my work at LasVegasSun.com, there is a lot coming up. My weekend wagers column now is going to be back in full effect. It's a thing I started in the middle of 2020 when some sports were just starting to come back, and now we're about 4 years into it, up about $30,000 on that column. So look out for that. We dive into a bunch of niche sports. This week we'll have NASCAR, Daytona 500. My tip there is I'm liking the Toyotas. A lot of buzz about the Toyota overhauls they made, that they're going to have more speed at super speedways this week. So look for that. UFC 298 this weekend, big one. We'll have some bets there. 2 really big sports betting stories on LasVegasSun.com. Plenty of picks on all different sports. So check out that. Thanks for a great football season, and we'll keep coming to you every week and trying to find winners. The Las Vegas Super Bowl was amazing. Thanks for listening, all.
So I'm saying by the end of the year, Travis and Taylor are Splitsville. You heard it here first on ABC 3340. I'm only saying that because, and Ashlyn's off camera. She does a wonderful job, and she is very soft in the eyes. So I'm sure she has no problems finding a man. But she will even tell you when a woman pats a man on the back, it's over. If you get in a situation where you're hugging and she starts to pat you first, look at her. She's out there. She's smiling. She's laughing. She knows it's true. So he keeps hugging on her, and he's trying to hold on to her during the end of the game. And you can tell she's kind of like, okay, Travis, I love you too. The cameras are on. Now go celebrate with your fans and go celebrate with your teammates. And he keeps bringing her in for some more mug shots, and she just keeps patting the back.
Well, I told you what that was on our radio program the other day. That wasn't a pat on the back. That was a tap out. It's like, okay, I concede. But he was overcome by emotion, and she did fly back 14 hours from Tokyo the night before. I give Travis plenty of slack for that. But it's going to be interesting. They've released the audio now of, they didn't have it on the CBS report, but I listened to it with my son last night, and she told him something pretty incredible. She said, I just want you to know that I have never known anyone that I've ever been prouder of than what you've accomplished. So pretty good stuff. So I think Taylor, we'll see.
I'm kidding, of course, and I do hope they make it. And there's a lot of people in this country that are rooting for them. And despite the fact that no one knows either one of them very well, it would be a great story. It really would
totally
be.
Obscure people.
Yeah.
I think she's reliving what she missed out on in high school. She's the girlfriend of the football star and kind of riding that wave. Of course, she's kind of known well herself. But it's a fascinating story, and I'm not like the typical old guy, Tony. I don't say get them off my screen. It's fine with me. I think it's really cool.
Anytime you want to put Taylor Swift on my 85-inch, I'm good. I'll watch anytime she wants to be on my television.
She's invited to the home theater anytime.
Well, exactly. We did do pretty well. San Francisco, of course, was the big play. Going into the game, and certainly had to feel pretty good the entire time. I ended up taking Kansas City on the other side, and I had Patrick Mahomes over 27.5 yards rushing, so I had to pick him up a little bit. It was the first, and I'll be honest with you, it was the first Super Bowl bet that I'd won in the last 8 years. So maybe this show, we were on fire this year.
We had a very
on
good
this
year.
show. So for whatever reason, we were on fire. So, but it was a great game, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And I know a lot of people are going to be talking about the Super Bowl 48 for a long time, 58 for a long time.
Well, I couldn't get off the Chiefs. I logically looked at it. The 49ers were favored.
You said it. They had a tough road.
Yeah, I mean, the path they treaded to get to the Super Bowl was a lot tougher than what the 49ers did. Case, kind of reputed that a little bit, disputed it, I should say, a little bit last week by saying, but you got to kind of keep it in context that the Ravens really made critical mistakes, but mistakes are a big part of football. And Case, had San Francisco in a 10-1 situation to win the championship early in the year. But and he said there were 7 fumbles in that game, 6 recovered by Kansas City.
Unbelievable.
So it's just the way the ball bounces
including the
sometimes.
first one, which was only the 3rd fumble Christian McCaffrey's had in like the last 10,000 carries, which you just never see ever. So,
and I still think the main play in the game, Tony, was the punt mishap where the ball bounced off one of the San Francisco guys' feet. Kansas City was doing nothing in the 3rd quarter. They scored the very next play after that turnover and completely flipped the script of the game.
Cannot wait for the show next week on Saturday mornings, 10:30, 11. Do you want gambleizing in gambleizing? We call it gambling. Do you want gambleizing in the state of Alabama? Do you want it legalized? We're going to break it down. If you have questions about why hasn't it been legalized in the past, what will it take to get through, why are people not wanting it to happen, I've got the man right here who's got all the answers, plus another special guest going to join us right here on the starting lineup with Keefer and Tony Kurre. So continue to watch, and we'd greatly have you join us every single week.
It will be a referendum in November. It looks like it's on track to clear the Alabama legislature, so you're going to be able to decide. So we'll have all the information you need to make a good decision on that.
So you never know who's going to be in the next starting lineup every Saturday morning, 10:30, 11 o'clock, right here on ABC 3340.